Pastor Sebastian, just coming to you with a very special Good Friday message for our youth group. So I want to thank you for joining, and just want to tell our youth group that I really do miss seeing y'all. It's been a crazy couple of weeks, and so I'm going to bring you a message of kind of how Good Friday relates to quarantine. See, we have to go back about 2,000 years ago to when Good Friday actually occurred. See, Good Friday for us is when Jesus was put on the cross. It was nailed to the cross for our sins. You see, at that particular moment in time, the disciples were running. As we know, we can look at Peter's story, and Peter literally denied Christ 3 times, but all the disciples ran. And not only did they ran back to their former life. You see the disciples as they ran, and they went to be fishers again. They were fishermen again. It's crazy. So after all that time of walking with Jesus and being with Jesus, they went and became fishers of men, fishing again instead of fishers of men. And it took a couple days before they realized that, hey, Jesus had really called them to a greater purpose, and he was who he said he was. See, they were afraid of a couple of things. They were afraid of getting seen because they might be killed. But they were also, I believe, in my heart, afraid that maybe Jesus might not come back. And whenever they were sitting there and they had their opportunity, they decided to go back to their former way of life. And they basically became in isolation. They were sitting on a boat, fishing. And that's when Jesus came back to them and said, hey, listen, you're casting your net on the wrong side. Go to the other side and you'll catch fish. They catch a whole bunch of fish because they weren't catching any fish before. But they were in isolation, kind of like we are today. We're sitting in our homes. We're only able to go to the store and stuff like that. We're not even really allowed to have church because we can't have more than 10 people. So we're doing church online, and we're doing church in crazy different ways. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, because I believe that it's an amazing thing. We're able to reach people that we weren't able to reach before. But we still love to have that fellowship inside our church. And we're just not able to do that. So right now, as you're sitting at your house, you're having an opportunity. Just like the disciples did. You can continue following Jesus, or you can run back to your former way of life. See, just because you're stuck inside your house doesn't mean you can't follow Jesus. There's still many ways that you can do it, especially as a youth. See, you could sit there, so if you have brothers and sisters, start studying together. Find a devotional to do together. Maybe you have one that you like to do and that your parents like to do, and you can do one as a family. But being able to do that, also using your cell phone for good instead of bad. Just about every one of our youth, if not every one of our youth, has a cell phone. And you can take that cell phone and message your friends and let them know what Jesus has done for you. Talk to your friends about Jesus. Not only that, not every conversation has to be about Jesus. Unfortunately, during this hard time, I have seen some rough things. And one of the hardest things that I had seen, well, didn't really see, I got told about, was a friend of mine had committed suicide. It's a tough time for a lot of people. Be there for your friends. Be there for those people that maybe you don't talk too much, but you do happen to either have their number, or you do happen to have ways to contact them, and you know that they're probably struggling. Talk to them. I promise you, you can be the light in their day. So this quarantine thing doesn't have to be so bad. Just like Good Friday 2,000 years ago, when Jesus was on his way to the cross, he was getting nailed up on a cross, his disciples ran. Let's learn from their mistakes, and instead of running, let's pursue Christ. Kind of like our pastor was telling us before all this happened, pursue Christ intentionally. You know, we got a lot of things that we can do right now. One big thing that we did in the church right before we left was prayer. Guys, pray. Pray for this country. Pray for your friends. Pray for your family. Pray for the elderly. I mean, just pray. Lay out your hearts to God. And I'm going to tell you, God is going to see us through this. And not only that, his name is going to be glorified through all this. And we're going to start seeing God just move in mysterious ways. But it's not going to be him down here just throwing thunderbolts of lightning. It's going to be him using you. Using your friends to literally create a movement for him. And as we saw once Jesus came up out of that grave, and once we come out of this quarantine, I think that we are going to be so much stronger. But it takes pursuing Christ right now. It takes knowing who Jesus is right now and learning what Jesus was all about. Guys, you got plenty of time. There's 4 Gospels. I am challenging you throughout this quarantine to start reading the Gospels. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Start getting into the Gospels. With that, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for y'all just being so faithful as a youth group as we talk and text quite a bit. And thank y'all for continuing to encourage one another. This is a stressful time. It's a crazy time. But just continue that encouragement of one another. Just talking to one another. That's what Hebrews 10:24 and 25 tells us. It tells us, don't forsake the meeting that we have together. You know, we have the opportunity to meet together, and right now we don't have that opportunity, so we're figuring out other ways. But he says, continue to use this time as love and encouragement for one another. So use this time to love and encourage each and every person that you can. That way we can all continue to grow further in our relationship with Jesus. So I want to thank you so much for that. Youth, I just want to tell you I missed you, and that I can't wait for us to get back to meeting again, and at some point it's going to happen. Jessica's not here with me right now, but we were just talking about how much she misses you, so I want y'all to know she misses y'all as well. And we have some big ideas for you coming forth. So y'all have a great day. Continue looking out for videos, but not only that, look out for text messages because I'm going to be talking to y'all. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have a good one. Just one more thing before we leave. I want to just take you a little bit into my personal life and allow y'all to see just some of my passions and some of my hobbies, and allow us to kind of show off what we like to do outside of just being in the church atmosphere. So for any youth that comes to United Community Church's youth group that can tell me what fish these are that I'm about to show you, the first person, whenever we get back from having all of this quarantine stuff, will get a candy bar. So all you got to do is just know what fish these are. And here's the fish. 2 of my fish tanks, and you can't really tell, but they have 11 babies in there. So as they continue to grow, I'll show them off more. We actually have 2 babies from their first. So tell me who these are, and I will owe somebody a candy bar.